Nobody can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. Come on. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I am Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my first thing today and every day is giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and getting things going. As usual, we have a lot to talk about. This is our format, if you will. Hour one, we are local. What is going on the left coast side of town? Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person on a thing of a something. So we always have a lot going on around here. Glad you could be here. You're invited in every hour at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. Today just so happens to be Wednesday, which means it's Wealth Building Wednesday. So you will meet a local, actually this one's local, national, and internationally known Black-owned business. Sometimes we do socially innovative or other kinds of businesses, women-owned, local-owned, green, etc., etc. If you want to be considered, hit me up on the DMs. We are at KBLA 1580, or I'm at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. And let me know about your business, and we will definitely consider you for a Wealth Building Wednesday. It's Black Music Month, of course, so we'll be welcoming V. Shane Frederick in the final hour of the show to talk about, well, Black music with a world-renowned scholar and musician. I love the working musicians who are also scholars. That's a good thing. But starting us off today, the man who is one of the founders of Africatown Coalition, Africatown Enterprise. He is an organizer and protector and provider for Black Los Angeles, and he's the man behind the People's Juneteenth, or I should say one of the men behind the People's Juneteenth. Billion Godsun, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Great.
I'm awake, so that's really a big plus.
Yes, that's always the first.
Yes, indeed. So for those paying attention, we broadcast from, I like to say, Leimert Park, Africatown, USA, which is kind of the heart, in no disrespect to any of the other amazing parts of Los Angeles, but kind of the heart of cultural Black Los Angeles. And the Juneteenth celebrations here have been a long-standing tradition. It's not something new, right, but it does, it goes back. How long do you think, Billion, how long do you think we've been doing Juneteenth in Leimert Park?
To some degree.
Informally, yeah, that's what I'm
much
talking about.
As long as I can remember being here.
Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Right.
I mean, if you know Leimert Park, you know we got some festivals. We got a festival for Malcolm X. We got a festival in Louisiana. We got a festival for, I don't know, I feel like we got a festival almost every weekend. We got some festivals.
Right.
Kwanzaa, we got 2 or 3 Kwanzaa festivals.
Right.
We got Black History Month, maybe every day. It seems like we got a lot of festivals.
Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, just almost daily somebody acknowledges something we need to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the culture of Leimert Park, right?
Right.
So I think this is my interpretation, so I could be wrong because I don't claim to be out in them streets every day, every minute, although I work here, that when President Biden declared Juneteenth a national holiday, it got a lot bigger.
Right.
That's why I was joking around saying I didn't know y'all love Biden so much, because all of a sudden I go to Juneteenth and it's like jam-packed, like tens of thousands of people.
Right. Well, that year also, 2020, folks had been stuck in the house for a few months because of COVID, and then the mayor at the time lifted the stay-home orders, so the timing was just perfect for it. Everybody came out. It was now a national celebration. So, yeah, folks showed up in large numbers in 2020.
2020. I think it became an official holiday in 21, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Okay.
But I do know that there was a pandemic
Right.
Juneteenth that was, pretty big, pretty
Right.
sizable. But 2021, which is when we launched KBLA Talk 1580, and we did it on Juneteenth in Leimert Park down
Right.
at that
I
festival.
remember.
That one was
Right.
insane.
And that year, a lot of other entities also tapped into it, so it began to spread around the city. But yeah, people came back to Africatown that year in large numbers.
Yeah. Okay, right. Because now it's a national holiday. People have a day off, and there's a whole debate going on about whether we asked for it or we didn't ask for it. It's good or bad, blah, blah, blah. So, but the bottom line was it grew even more in 2021, and
Right.
it also spread to other parts of the city, which is something that's still happening, I think.
Right. Yeah, it's Inglewood, Watts, Hawthorne. It's all over the county this year.
Yeah. So, and yet, I imagine there have been Juneteenth celebrations all along. I know, like for example, in the Bay, we've always had them. But long before Biden made it a holiday, long before
Right.
I came to LA. But this year there's controversy and confusion, and that's one of the reasons I'm glad you could be here, because we want to clear some things up. Now, we may do a town hall, we may go a little deeper with this, but I want to start with what is happening. Because
Okay.
we've heard about cancellation, we've heard about controversy. So what remains, right? We're exactly a week out from the 19th of June.
Right.
I was confused because I usually think any Juneteenth, Malcolm X, whatever, is going to be the weekend closest to the holiday.
Right. So with Africatown, there are a number of different components. One, Africatown in and of itself, the heart that we consider Africatown, is a commercial district.
Right, which is, commonly known as Leimert Park. You call it Africatown.
Right.
A lot of people do. So when we say Africatown and Leimert Park, it's the same thing.
Right. The park attached to it, a lot of folks know as Leimert Park Plaza. We call it Kamathi, Didon Kamathi Park, but it over the years has become in and of itself became a cultural hub. A lot of our drummers, after the 92 rebellion, began to congregate there, and gradually they built what we now call the drum church, a huge drum circle that drew in dancers, gradually drew in vendors, and that became a separate component of Africatown. And in addition, whenever anything major happened, it became a draw from people all around the city. In 92, in response to the rebellion, people showed up there. When Michael Jackson transitioned, when Prince transitioned, when Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, that is where people came. And in 2013, after the verdict of George Zimmerman being found not guilty, we congregated there. So for a number of different reasons, it became a black hub. And with that, as we saw the growth of Juneteenth, we who were more connected to what happens every Sunday saw the need to make sure an event takes place that incorporates all of that. When people think of Leimert Park, Africatown, they got different aspects of it. So as we saw the official, so to speak, Juneteenth grow, we saw that more so grow in a corporate direction. And
I mean, which is normal because festivals cost money. I mean, when you do them on a big scale, right?
correct.
When the people just do a spontaneous thing, yeah, it doesn't cost as much money. But
Right.
then you got to, I guess, the cleanup and everything. But yeah, so you're saying it's becoming more corporatized.
Right. And with that, what happened was a lot of the original vendors and even some of the drummers who have made the community a cultural hub or draw felt like they were being pushed out of it. So we knew at least on Sundays we needed to make sure everything that has made it pretty much an international draw at this point would be included. From the vendors, we asked them, what did they think would be a fair price. And once they told us that, we could calculate, we got these many vendors paying this, so this is the base budget we're going to have to produce an event. Also, the messaging. With the other event, even before 2020, 2018, and 2019, some of the producers of that event felt that some of our organizations, our messages were not, what they wanted to include. They also felt that the issue of reparations was something they didn't want to bring up during the Juneteenth event. We're like, hold up, this is Juneteenth. If nothing else, this is a time we need to be addressing reparations. So that is something we also wanted to incorporate into our Sunday events. Now, 2022, I believe Juneteenth fell on a Sunday. So it became an issue, a battle over who would get the permit.
Yeah. And I think, you can go ahead and summarize. I don't want to go too much into the weeds, but we can if you want to, but I'd rather have, like we talked about, doing a town hall, but go ahead and summarize what you because I think there is a lot of misunderstanding.
So, the issue with the permit, we, for the most part on Sundays, operate without a permit. We're actually talking to the city now about the vendors possibly going in that direction. But to do events and have stages of certain sizes, to have street closures, things that certain sponsors feel comfortable with, they quite often want you to have a permit. So the other more corporate one was looking at, getting the permit. But again, we felt that having that situation would exclude or push out a lot of our regular vendors, a lot of what we normally do. So fortunately, that year we were able to maintain it. And that year we saw our Sunday event pull in about 10,000 people.
Right, which is more than a typical Sunday.
Right.
Typical Sunday is just whatever the traffic is in Leimert Park, foot traffic.
Right.
I'm talking about. But of course, I've been hanging out in Leimert or Africatown for many, many years now, and I remember a time when there were no vendors at all. I mean, you would just go and you would go to Essawan and the the brick and mortar businesses. So I feel like the vendors situation, I don't know, maybe has gotten a lot more popular in the last 10 years.
Right. Well, actually, again, going back to 2020, that's when it exploded. Actually, the Juneteenth drew in a number of vendors that year because people were out of work. So
right, logical. And also we've seen a shift in the city of Los Angeles in terms of attitude towards street vendors.
Right.
Now, we talked a little bit about how that doesn't always apply to black folks, and we'll look at that when we come forward, But part of what's happening is something that's happening not just in Leimert Park, which is more vendors being allowed to operate without a permit. What does that mean? Again, I said we will talk about, Billion is setting kind of the backstory where we are now, but we're going to talk about what is available, because now, after hearing that Wednesday was canceled, I'm hearing about 2 or 3 different things that are happening, and I want to make sure we know what they are so folks don't show up when there isn't a thing and do show up when there is a thing. If that makes sense. 800-920-1580 if you got something to say, or you can just jump on YouTube, KBLA 1580, and type it if you're at work or something. All right, we are unapologetically Leimert, KBLA, unapologetically Africatown, KBLA, Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Pardon the interruption. It's me, Tavis Smiley, here to remind you that we are now just days away from our historic Climate Justice Symposium live on C-SPAN this coming Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center. We are now pushing capacity. So if you plan to join us, stop procrastinating and get to KBLA1580.com right now and register. Attendance is free, but registration is mandatory. Black folk are flying into LA from all across the country to be in the room when we go live to the world with a stage full of black brilliance on the eve of Juneteenth. And you live here, you better get to KBLA1580.com right now and claim your seat.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops, I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you interested in catching up on all the latest entertainment news, trending topics, and exciting interviews? I got you. Tune in to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Join me every weekday with some of the best entertainment contributors in the business as we break down what's going on, who's got next, and what not to miss. Only on The Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
1 in 3 children born today will get diabetes. This sad prediction by the Centers for Disease Control will come true if millions of Americans don't improve their lifestyles, especially by changing what they eat, how much they eat, and how active they are every day. Every 23 seconds, another American gets diabetes. Stop diabetes before it starts. To learn more, contact the American Diabetes Association or download our free diabetes education programs at learningaboutdiabetes.org.
What does it take to take on Alzheimer's? Awareness that nearly 2/3 of those diagnosed are women, including Black women. Dedication to lowering your risk by eating healthy and monitoring blood pressure. And confidence to talk to your healthcare provider about screening and early detection. You have what it takes to take on Alzheimer's. Learn about signs and screening at takeonalz.com. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Here, broadcasting live from Africa Town, Leimert Park, USA, Los Angeles, all of that. Billy Godsun is here. He is with Africa Town Coalition, Africa Town Enterprise. You got a lot of organizations that you work with.
Yes.
But I mean, I see you on the ground here in this community making a difference. And I know there are many different organizations, stakeholders, as we like to call them. But, and everybody's welcome to weigh in, by the way, 800-920-1580. So where were we? You were just kind of explaining how we got where we are right now with this Juneteenth festival. The producer, DJ Quest Coast, of the sort of newer Juneteenth, what you called a more corporate Juneteenth, came in and said his piece. And if you missed it, it's available wherever you get your podcast. You could get it on the KBLA app. It's on YouTube. And it was widely reported in the LA Times and elsewhere that that they canceled the Wednesday Juneteenth because of money and funding and safety concerns. He, was talking about how they didn't mean that they were afraid of the community or that fights were going to break out, but that public safety concerns, i.e., street closures, et cetera, were not really in place. So it's been widely reported that it's been canceled, but we started out saying how Leimert Park, Africatown has festivals every weekend, so I'm concerned that folks are going to show up anyway. And now I'm hearing about 2 or 3 different things that are going on. So can you tell us what is actually taking place?
So on the actual day of Juneteenth, our Queen Amina is moving forward with organizing through the Leimert Park Village Merchants Association. So they are looking to have, an event. I'm not sure exactly what all that will include. We will be over in Liberation Plaza, which was secured by Liberty Land Trust, a component of downtown Crenshaw. So we will have vendors and a stage over there.
Is that the what it used to be like the experience?
Total Experience,
right there.
Right.
That lot
Right.
now, which is right on Crenshaw.
Right.
So the vendors will be there.
We will have some.
Okay.
I know Queen Amina is also organizing some.
This is on the actual Wednesday, Juneteenth,
Yes.
the holiday. Okay.
Yes. And like I was saying earlier, we know throughout the city there are a number of different events that will take place. But for us, our primary focus will be this coming Sunday on the 16th. We are doing I guess you could say, a pre-Juneteenth.
A weekend Juneteenth for people they want to go.
Right.
I mean, okay, so that's the Sunday, your normal Sunday.
Right, the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've been promoting that, going throughout the city, and bringing in a number of vendors, a number of acts, stages. So we're looking forward to that.
So that Juneteenth that's happening, and here's part of the reason people get confused. You've got the Leimert Park Vendors Association, you got the Africatown Village Vendors, and there's at least 1 or 2 other vendors associations, right? Or
well, those are the primary. Well, the African Village Vendors Association is the primary one. The Leimert Park one is more so some folks who have come and kind of, used the name. And then there's the Leimert Park Merchants Association,
which is the brick and mortar
Brick and
stores.
mortars, yes.
So there's at least 3 associations.
Right.
And the Africatown Village Vendors is African Village Vendors Association is the one that does every Sunday.
Correct. And a lot of them are also out there on Saturdays.
Right. But so that's the one that you're involved with, which is doing a smaller scale Juneteenth on Sunday.
Yes.
And so when people come, they should expect more like a typical Sunday of vending with a couple stages added, not sort of the huge stages and all the barricades and stuff that we've seen in previous years.
A lot of local talent. We'll have probably 2 or 3 times more vendors and different guest speakers. California Assembly Member Isaac Bryan has agreed to show up. Councilwoman Heather Hutt has agreed to show up. So we'll have a lot of different, additions to our event.
And that one, you're calling it the People's.
So this year they chose, I kind of stepped back a little bit and let other folks, but they chose to come up with the Africatown Juneteenth Black Independence Father's Day commemoration celebration.
Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, so what is the People's Juneteenth?
Well, we consider that to be the People's Juneteenth.
The Africatown Juneteenth Father's Day. Oh, I better not have a quiz on this. But, I mean, it's good that everyone is getting celebrated. Father's Day Independence?
Well, Black Independence Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
Commemoration celebration.
Okay, commemoration and celebration.
Right.
The name is probably longer than the festival.
Right.
But so that's what's happening on Sunday.
On Sunday, yes.
And you guys are not concerned that tens of thousands of people are going to just show up.
Well, security-wise, we are getting in place with that. We have for a couple weeks now gone throughout our community, immediate community, and other communities. And a lot of times we really raise up the messaging to people so they can come in a different frame of mind and not necessarily look, just for the turn up, but to really understand our thing is sustaining us as black people, business, socially, bettering ourselves, politically bettering ourselves. And, it's a day of significance.
All right, it definitely is that. I just want y'all to be, understanding what's going on the ground here in Juneteenth headquarters for Greater Los Angeles. 800-920-1580. We got news, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, I'm Ray Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. ICE agents have arrested 8 immigrants in the United States who have suspected ties to ISIS. According to CBS News, U.S. officials said the arrest took place in New York, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. They arrived in the United States after crossing the southern border. Officials say there's no active plot. Severe weather is expected to impact millions in different parts of the country. The Southwest is still dealing with a heat wave that has caused heat advisories in place from California to the Central Valley to Nevada, Arizona, and Western Texas. And that's the latest. I'm Ray Harris on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need money for the holidays? Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan on your tax refund, up to $1,000. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA Finals resumes tonight in Dallas for Game 3. The Boston Celtics have a 2-0 lead. A significant injury concern for the Celtics. Backup center Kristaps Porzingis has a tendon issue in his left leg. Porzingis is listed as questionable. Tip-off time tonight is 5:30 on ABC Channel 7. Hip-hop star Kendrick Lamar, who grew up in Compton, has a hit song that's in major rotation at sports arenas around the country. Lamar's song, Not Like Us, is the walk-up tune used by Dodgers second baseman Gavin Lux when he steps into the batter's box. Not Like Us was played at TD Garden in Boston during the first 2 games of the NBA Finals. The song is also getting played at WNBA games in Las Vegas, Seattle, Minneapolis, and Chicago. The Dodgers hit 5 home runs last night, 4 in the 6th inning to pound the Texas Rangers. The Angels lost to Arizona. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Listen up, KBLA delegation. If you are not feeling yourself lately, and your weight loss dreams have gone sideways, like say you've been chasing 20 pounds for 20 years or even 20 months, okay, it's time for D-Herbs. D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse is a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose that 20 pounds or 30 pounds or whatever you're trying to get off. The Full Body Cleanse will also boost your immune system and it will improve your digestion. With summer right around the corner, you can stop chasing those 20 pounds and propel yourself into a much healthier lifestyle. To reboot your system and lose the weight, go to dherbs.com and order your Full Body Cleanse, or you can call them 866-434-3727. Mention KBLA 1580 and get 10% off your order. dherbs.com. Let's experience healing.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys. Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/124.
Did you know that streaming music, ebooks, audiobooks, movies, and more is available for free from the Los Angeles Public Library? With your library card, you can access the latest music and movies, audiobooks and ebooks, graphic novels, comic books, magazines, and more. If you don't have a library card and live in the city of Los Angeles, you can get a digital card online for free. Check it out at lapl.org/emedia. That's lapl.org/emedia.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And I'm here with Billy and Godsun of the African Village Vendors Association, Africa Town Enterprise, Africa Town Coalition. Yes. And all of those are online.
Yes. You can find us especially on Instagram. I'm not sure if the Village Vendors are on Facebook, but we are on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube.
And you're on there at Africa Town Coalition. I know I follow Africa Town Enterprise, but you have more than one, right?
Yes, on Instagram, Africa Town Enterprise, Africa Town Coalition, and then my personal page, Billy and Godsun, and Facebook, pretty much the same. YouTube, Billy and Godsun and Africa Town Coalition.
All right. You got it. And find me at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima Radio. I did get a flyer from Queen Amina's. They are doing their own Juneteenth, as you said, on the 19th, on the actual Wednesday, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. I guess they're going to, and this is put on by the merchants. So let's see, what does the flyer say? Come to Leimert Park Merchants Juneteenth celebration, a celebration of African American freedom and culture. Join us for a day filled with food, music, and fun for the whole family. The joy and spirit of Juneteenth. So that one is Wednesday.
Yes.
But it'll be much scaled down. So if you're coming to Africa Town Leimert Park on Wednesday, don't be expecting 2021.
Right. Yeah, I know last year Queen Amina held an event that Saturday before ours, and I believe she had a couple stages. She had the nation there for security. Rizza Islam spoke. There's a sister within the nation who raps name, I believe, Neelam. She was, I believe, the headliner. So it was a nice event.
Yeah, well, I mean, and Brother Rizza, I saw them at work. Well, the nation in general does a great job, actually, when it comes to securing events in the community. I remember the Nipsey Hustle.
Yes.
I don't know what to call it. Procession. It was like a funeral procession / party.
Right.
And I have never seen anything like that in South LA. Right. Because people were in their grief and there was a lot going on, but they did an incredible job securing it. And the LAPD was actually cooperating with the nation. That was, that was different.
Yeah, we were out there.
Yeah, you were there. So, I mean, I just say that to say I think everyone expected drama that day. And we really didn't see anything, not anything significant.
Yeah, I think that was just a reflection of what, Nipsey was to us as a people, this city, and what he was about, bringing folks together. And, that respect was shown on that day.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I saw some people turning up, but, what do you expect? And I didn't see any significant drama.
Right.
I was out there just being out there, just to be out there and pay tribute to Nipsey. Right. I was up on Slauson with Ariel and Cameron, just seeing what I could see. We've got Ira Webster calling us from LA. That's unusual. We usually don't get people giving us their first and last name. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
Webster.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dominique. Listen, I live in the San Fernando Valley, and I appreciate 100% what the brother is doing. I'm behind you 110%. But I think when we look at what the members of the Hispanic community do, they just get out and do it. I know you're trying to do it legal with insurance and permits and that sort of thing, but understand, Los Angeles is kind of messed up in the head. Sometimes you just have to get out and do these things. Every day in the valley, there are vendors all over the sidewalks here. And I think that's how the blacks need to do it as well.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought that up, Ira, because that was a point we kind of touched on before News, Traffic, and Sports and didn't follow up on, which is that the city has gotten more lenient. They've changed the rules and policies when it comes to vending. And as a result, we have seen a proliferation of vendors, and a lot of them are Latino. I mean, the reality is there are more Latino people in LA County than black people by quite a lot. And that's not surprising. This used to be Mexico. But the part that is problematic in my eyes is that it seems like the city and the county are more lenient with other vendors than they are with black vendors. Would you agree with that, Ira, from just based on your perception?
110%. And that's always the way it's going to be. Whether they're white or Jewish or Armenian, there's always going to be more leniency towards those groups because they have more power. We tend to give our power away. We don't build black dollars. We don't build back into our communities. So that means our communities are declining. That's how it's been in Los Angeles for the last half century. We're drying up and blowing away.
Honestly, I think that we do organize and we do build, but I understand what you're saying. For me, I would attribute it to many of us moving out of the area, so we don't have the power base that we used to have. I would attribute it also to the high cost of housing, where we have folks that are unhoused. But still, Ira Webster, we still vote above our weight class, which is why folks feel like they have to come to our churches and such, because it's hard to win a citywide anything without black people still. But maybe what you're saying is we don't realize it and we don't flex like we should.
Well, I think that the problem with us as black people is we have lost the basic route. The way to do it is you build the family first, the family grows the community, and from the community you grow the businesses. And we've lost that. So now it's like basketball. Everyone's out now playing 1 against 5, and you're not going to win. You've got to play team ball. And we're not playing team ball.
I mean, but you look at the LA City Council, we've got three black council members. There's only 15 city council seats. That means we're what? 20% of the city council and 6 to 8% of the population, depending on who you ask. So that means we are actually we're punching above our weight.
Politically. But here's the problem. Politics means nothing without money in a politician's pocket. That's where the power is. It's not about voting. You can vote all day long. if you don't have money in that politician's pocket, they're not going to do what you want them to do. So a lot of times we used to have a saying. We call it the spook by the door. If you can put a black person up front and use him as representation, you make the other blacks think, oh, okay, we're getting our issues addressed. But we're not, because we're not in the pocket. We've got to go economically. That's where the power is.
I mean, I think it's both. I don't think you could, I do think that our black politicians, some of them are quite excellent, and I do think that they are doing some things for us. Would they do more things for us if we had more economic clout? Yeah. But I don't think it's fair to say they're not. I mean, was it last week that the county passed a reparations bill written by motion written by Holly Mitchell? That would not have happened without black voters talking about it, wanting it, organizing for it. Don't you think? You disagree with that?
Well, I somewhat disagree. And look, I'm
You
not
think white
throwing
people
shade on
white
black
politicians would have just said, okay, let's do a reparations motion without black voters?
Look, no shade on black politicians, but for example, look at an Ed Bloom. Look at the power that one man has. Look at what slow Joe Biden did.
This is not oligarchy, but I'm talking about what we're doing right here in L.A. locally. Yeah, we're living in basically an oligarchy. So if you're a billionaire, you have more clout. He's talking about Ed Bloom, the guy that billionaire that basically single-handedly dismantled affirmative action, who's now targeting the Fearless Fund because he doesn't even want us to be able to help ourselves.
Right.
I mean, point taken. But, lest we jump off a ledge, it's important to note that a lot of progress is going on the local, state, county level.
Progress is when, for example, slow Joe Biden took one of our blank checks, signed checks to Israel, gave it to them with a hug and a kiss, and walked away. That's how reparations should be handled.
Slow Joe Biden.
A blank signed check.
So, and you think Donald Trump would do differently? Donald Trump is the one that moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Donald Trump has already indicated that he would just like to remove all of the Palestinians from Gaza, and by remove we mean, remove from the planet. So I don't, I'm not quite sure. I mean, slow Donald Trump. Slow Joe Biden, fast Donald Trump. If your concern is what's happening in Gaza, that's, sadly, Biden is actually your better option.
Well, yeah, and listen, Donald Trump is whoever you think he is. I'm not on his side one way or the other. But what I am saying is, you know who Donald Trump is. At least he tells you the truth.
No, he lies. Oh, my God. Okay, we are not having this conversation right now. Why don't you go ahead and at least he tells you. Have you met Donald Trump? I mean, I don't mean personally. Anyway. Okay, Ira, go ahead and land for me because we started off talking about Leimert Park and Africatown and Juneteenth, and you got us all the way at slow Joe Biden. So I hear the talking points coming. So just go ahead and land for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Not a problem. Here's the basic lesson. You have to build the family first. That builds the community. You build the business out from there. Teach your young people the power of their dollar. That's where we're losing.
Okay,
we're giving
thank you,
away
Ira.
our power, and that's where we're losing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you,
God
Ira.
bless.
So I'm going to tell you, we'll continue our conversation about Juneteenth when we come forward. But when I hear people on this, it's all about the money. I know that they're not progressive, and I'm not saying that we don't have to build our economic clout. I'm a big believer in recycling black dollars, not giving our power away.
Right.
But there's, we as black people have always simultaneously built our families, our economic clout, and our political power. Let's fall back and just build families and wait another century while we build up our money, and then we can get reparations and get freedom and get actual equity in this country. I don't think that's a strategy that makes sense. I don't, we can walk and chew gum. And when folks say it's all about silver rights, it's all about money, then if you don't have justice along with that economic power, then you're just creating black capitalism so we can destroy and exploit each other the same way we've been destroyed and exploited for centuries. And I just, that's where my Baraka comes out, baby. That ain't it. You're welcome to disagree. I love it. 800-920-1580. Billion is in the studio. I'm here, and we are KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
History in the making. Come join the Get Me Expo Sunday, June 23rd, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Gardena, California. The first lowrider, custom cars, and bike manufacturing expo. Come learn the economics behind the billion-dollar industry, hosted by legendary celebrity car builder T.J. Lofton, featuring panel discussions and vendors. Come network, tickets, and vendors. Go to getmeexpo.com. GITMEexpo.com. Become a sponsor. Great vibe. GetMeExpo.com. See you there.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Get ready to play. Join the LA84 Foundation Saturday, June 29th for a free Playday block party at 2141 West Adams Boulevard with sports, games, and fun for all ages. With live music, amazing local food, and the spirit of LA's 1984 Summer Olympics celebrating 40 years of impact of the LA84 Foundation. June 29th at LA84's campus in West Adams from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Register at la84.org. See you at Playday.
This is DIR Silica, spot title, in California, 32nd English Radio, ISKI code DSIC 0430, April 30th, 2024.
In California, the use of man-made stone is causing workers to get silicosis. Silicosis is a fatal disease caused by breathing in silica dust from cutting, polishing, or grinding man-made stone. To prevent silicosis, employers must provide their workers proper equipment, including water systems and NIOSH-approved respirators. Stop dusty and deadly practices. Learn more at worksafewithsilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, we're talking about Juneteenth. We're not going to veer too much, but Kwamel says it's best to make it more about the right and how they get stuff done than about Trump. And also try not to get into back and forth Trump thing with new callers. Yeah, I think so. But Molly Bell brings us back into our topic. She says the community has started Juneteenth celebrations. This caller should know this is how we do it. We serve a God who makes a way out of no way. Leimert Park is Africa Town. Thank you, Molly Bell. Do you want to respond to any of that? Anything in the chat or anything Ira said?
Well, I'll say that the community is really what has driven this area, and over the years we have become family, and for the most part, a lot of what has happened unpermitted. It wasn't until pretty much COVID when, like I said, a lot of these newer vendors showed up who were really more so about business. Prior to that, people would come set up, barely make a few dollars all day, but consistently show up,
Yeah.
regardless of the weather, regardless of the turnout. But in the more recent years, it's been about business, and that's where the struggle has been about getting things permitted and more in line with the city and county.
But I think Ira missed the part of the conversation where you said the Sunday gathering, the vendors and the drumming and all that happens week in, week out,
right,
without a permit.
Right.
And so far, is the city looking the other way?
To this point, they have, yeah.
Because honestly, we did have this conversation with vendors, black vendors calling, saying that if they go anywhere outside Leimert Park, they get harassed. Right. So that basically that freedom of, loosening up the policy for vendors hasn't really applied to black vendors.
Right. 2021, we were kind of working with someone who took us under a permit, but with that came a lot of expenses. Again, challenged a lot of our more traditional vendors, but 2022, we saw we couldn't keep up with the permit, so we went right back to just being an open, what we call liberated zone, and for the most part, we haven't had too much code enforcement interference, too much police interference. But you go right down the street, actually around the corner one year, we had some brothers who were had their products seized. But within the commercial district, the issue is more so about development, street repairs, and that's going to be the challenge moving forward for vending.
I wonder if that once, when Destination Crenshaw opens, I wonder if that takes some pressure off.
We hope whatever, because our thing is, we know to sustain us as a people here, we need the economic component. We need support, and that's part of why we're really in this reparations fight, because we know that ultimately will help a lot of us who are here, as the cost of living in LA is becoming more unaffordable. So we incorporate all of that as we work with the vending, politics, and everything.
Wow. We got 3 minutes here. I'll just throw in that apparently Laker legend Jerry West has made his transition at the age of 86. The Clippers made that announcement, even though he played 15 seasons with the Lakers from 1960 to 1974. Okay. I could tell a Jerry West story, but I'll save that for another day. So, Billy, what do you want the community to know?
Come out. Sunday, June 16th, come out. Again, we have a huge day planned. We got Dr. Cornel West, Dr. Melina Abdullah will be there. We have the California Reparations Task Force will be there. They had another victory yesterday as it moved through the Judiciary Committee, 3 of the bills that are up right now. And like I said, we got a lot of local talent. We got a lot of vendors with great products. And then also on Wednesday, June 19th, again, Queen Amina will be hosting that event, and we will also be at Liberation Plaza, formerly the Total Experience.
Wow. Okay. I know they have big plans for that, but for right now, they're using it as a space for folks to vend, and
right.
Hopefully there'll be no harassment of that space. I feel like this is something we can do some work on, and making sure that black vendors get the same love as everybody else.
Right.
But for now, it's on Sunday.
Yes.
The Africa Town.
Juneteenth, Black Independence, Father's Day commemoration celebration, the People's Juneteenth.
Okay, and then of course the Wednesday is the Leimert Park Merchants Association, right?
Yes.
You don't have to keep them all straight. Just show up, show love, spend some money. Are folks, making any money on Sundays now?
Yes.
Better?
Again, a lot of our newer vendors are there primarily for business, and they are doing great. So when it gets warm from spring to about early mid-fall, they do great. People come out. It's just the more colder months where it becomes a little more challenging.
We're so spoiled in LA. Colder months, meaning it might be 60, right? And we can't come out because we need it to be 70 and up.
Or if it rains, that's a whole nother situation.
We ain't leaving the house. Well, Billion, thanks for all the work that you do, and we're going to have to follow up after the celebrations and in a timely manner so we can see what's happening for 2025.
And we really thank you, Dominique, because you have really given us a voice. You've really showcased a lot of the vendors, and you've helped bring more understanding to what, is really going on over here. Thank you.
I do my best. Why is an alarm going off while we're on the air? Okay, look, we got a lot to talk about. It's Wealth Building Wednesday. Thank you, Billion. All that after news, traffic, and sports. The only place you'll find all this. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Good morning. I'm Ray Harris, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. ICE agents have arrested 8 immigrants in the United States who have suspected ties to ISIS. According to CBS News, U.S. officials said the arrest took place in New York, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. They arrived in the United States after crossing the southern border. Officials say there's no active plot. Severe weather is expected to impact millions in different parts of the country. The Southwest is still dealing with a heat wave that has caused heat advisories in place from California to the Central Valley to Nevada, Arizona, and Western Texas. And that's the latest. I'm Ray Harris on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need money for the holidays? Avoid the yikes before Christmas. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt for a holiday loan on your tax refund, up to $1,000. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The NBA Finals resumes tonight in Dallas for Game 3. The Boston Celtics have a 2-0 lead. A significant injury concern for the Celtics. Backup center Kristaps Porzingis has a tendon issue in his left leg. Porzingis is listed as questionable. Tip-off time tonight is 5:30 on ABC Channel 7. Hip-hop star Kendrick Lamar, who grew up in Compton, has a hit song that's in major rotation at sports arenas around the country. Lamar's song, Not Like Us, is the walk-up tune used by Dodgers second baseman Gavin Lux when he steps into the batter's box. Not Like Us was played at TD Garden in Boston during the first 2 games of the NBA Finals. The song is also getting played at WNBA games in Las Vegas, Seattle, Minneapolis, and Chicago. The Dodgers hit 5 home runs last night, 4 in the 6th inning to pound the Texas Rangers. The Angels lost to Arizona. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward.